Tagerhaus hat auch schon bei den Sohlen zugeschlagen. Niveau, davor noch einmal Wiener Altstadt in Deutschland. Das darf in dieser Saison. Ja. Der war ein Stellenposten in Südafrika, ebenfalls in Springberg, auf der A. Und kurz auf die WM-Position im letzten Jahr war es der Engländer. Der Weltmeister, der ist aber auch bestimmt weiter zurück.
Well, welcome to Lenzerheide, this beautiful region of Switzerland. It's got more than 500 kilometers of mountain bike trails, and we're here in Lenzerheide, the home not just of recent mountain bike World Cups, but also the FIS Tour de Ski and Ski World Cup. We've got trails here for every standard of rider. So welcome everyone, it's Dan Jarvis and Bart Brendians here bringing you the action from the UCI Mountain Bike World Championships presented by Mercedes-Benz, and it's time for the under-23 men's cross-country. But we've seen earlier today, we've seen some action. It hasn't warmed up, it's still about 15 degrees, it's still cloudy, but the action's been pretty hot.
Yeah, the action warms us up, that's for sure. Men U23 is starting shortly, but the race that we saw with the women's under-23 was something impressive. On a course which is not easy to ride. 4.2 kilometers course, 188 meters of climbing. The first lap, it's a bit different from all the other ones. The start lap. Long climb on the asphalt, followed by a very technical, fast descent. The first famous drop, Lenzerheide cliff. Followed actually by a hard climb, Motorex climb, which is an off-camber section with a lot of roads. A little bit further down, the Mercedes-Benz rock.
Again, that's another kind of leap of faith, isn't it? You've got to just let the bike go and go off a sheer.
It's very steep, yeah. Actually, that second loop, it's hard as well. It has a lot of roads. Actually, it's covered by roads. And if it comes to a sprint that we have seen yesterday, it might be very interesting.
Yeah, just at the finish, we go over the ramp onto the tarmac, and it's a sweeping right hand, but it's
slightly
uphill. It's the kind of thing that maybe when we come to the elite men tomorrow, it's a Mathieu van der Poel kind of finish. But here we are then, the front row filling up, and the top ranked rider, Alan Hatherley from South Africa, got his first ever Mercedes-Benz UCI Mountain Bike World Cup win over in Montserrat, and Hatherley looking to do what Bury Standard did a few years ago and be a South African under-23 world champion.
Filippo Colombo from Switzerland, one of the favourites for today's win.
Of course, they've claimed the gold and silver in the under-23 women. They've taken the junior men. They've taking the team relay, so if they could get another gold, that'd be good. But this man, Peter Fegerhaug, he's the in-form rider, isn't he, the Norwegian?
He won the World Cup title this year. That's not Milan Vader, that's David Nordeman.
Yeah, I was just thinking that's definitely a CST sound. American
right.
Eagle.
You're right with that.
Helmet there. If Bart doesn't recognise his own team rider, then we are in serious trouble. Vlad Dascălu, the first ever Romanian to win a World Cup.
A strong rider. He lives in the Girona region. This is Milan Vader. Another Dutch rider. The first row.
And the young German,
Maximilian Brandl.
yeah, he's been riding well. He was in the team relay and put in a very good ride.
Good climber, yeah.
And it's a pretty big field. We've got just short of 100 riders. We've got 97 riders from 37 nations, and Israel making their race debut here today. They didn't have anyone in the U23 women. We've got riders from Croatia, Mexico, Australia, Chile, Poland, Canada, Ukraine, Tunisia.
37 nations, that's just a lot of countries.
Lesotho in there as well. It's but as we were saying, there's a lot of guys that could win. Yeah.
This race, it's wide open. I mean, it's probably the most interesting category to watch, I would say.
Yeah, I mean,
of course, it's the younger category, but still, these men are so fast.
We've had a number of different winners in the World Cup. We've had some riders coming through. I mean, Tristan de Lange, he's one of those guys that has got quite a good ranking, but he races predominantly in Africa. So sometimes it's kind of hard to gauge just how good those guys are.
It is, and also like Simon Andreas, we haven't seen that much of him this year, and he's not on the first row, but he did pretty well at the end of the season, the last couple of races, and he's getting better week by week.
Yeah, he started the season with an injury, didn't he? So that put him on the back foot, but again, was in the team relay, so that's quite a good way to kind of blow the cobwebs out as well here at the World Championships.
And if you see lap times of like David Nordeman, he was very strong in that team relay as well.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a very hard one to call, and with this tarmac start as well, there is a potential for riders who are maybe 5-6 rows back. If they can be brave and go on that climb, they could move themselves up.
Yeah, but it's not easy to overtake on that first asphalt climb. It's not that wide, and also the first few rows, they are the best riders, and they go flat out from the beginning. And maybe they might block, they slow down probably a little bit, but the tactic of these riders, it's flat out from the beginning.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting as well, because we're going to see potentially a new nation claiming the world title potentially. Yeah, there's some guys in there that haven't done it before. It's been New Zealand for the last 3 years. Prior to that, it was Mickey van der Heijden from the Netherlands. So
here is Simon Andreas from Denmark.
He's been junior world champion, hasn't he? So 2 times, and cross world champion. So there's plenty of guys that know what it takes in this race.
France.
Yeah, they've got some good challenges.
Strong riders from France.
Dubois for one, and then Antoine Philippe as well. He's been solid.
Norway.
The Norwegians.
Fagerhaug.
The thing about the Norwegians is they've got 3 or 4 guys that can ride in the top 10, and then the team tactics come into play.
Yeah, it might be in this category. I mean, like we saw in the women U23 race with Keller and Frey, different factory teams. But here in this category with the Norwegians, might be different.
Well, they ride all season for the federation, don't they? So
yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see. Well, we're counting down. It's again.
Beat Wabel of the UCI taking the tape away.
He was a pretty useful rider back in the day.
From Switzerland.
Yeah, I remember. He used to like riding with sleeveless jerseys, didn't he? Wouldn't be allowed that now.
Not allowed anymore.
So Hathley's got a lot of weight on his shoulders, I would say, here, because there's been some expectations for him to move up. He was a medalist last year, and he hasn't. Disappointing World Cup, I would say, probably by his standards. Even though he picked up a win. Yeah, but overall he was not as Joshua DeBoat, he's got his fan club here. The Euro champion. Axel Zinger looks poised to come through on the barriers here, alongside Norderman.
7 laps, first lap, it's a bit different, start lap.
Yeah, tarmac all the way up the climb.
Filippo Colombo from Switzerland is leading the group.
Figueroa just trying to muscle his way through. Blevins is up there as well.
I expect a lot of him too, Christoph Blevins.
Yeah, he's
from the US. He did a good team relay last Wednesday.
He's interesting as well because he splits his time between mountain biking and the road. And he's had some solid results on the road as well, but I think these days it's quite hard to keep doing that, isn't it? It's
Van der Poel, he's one of them who can handle it.
Van der Poel, I'm waiting for him to ride BMX, frankly, because you know.
If you see him on a dirt bike, he can do everything with a bicycle.
He'll be out in China for the UCI Urban Championships and probably riding BMX Park.
Everything goes pretty smooth so far, and luckily for that, because also this climb, it's not that wide. You can see 3-4 riders besides each other, and then the road is blocked.
So Colombo leading them through.
Colombo in the lead. Ian Hetterly, Simon Andreasen, Peter Fagero.
Blevins is up there. Vader's up there.
Nordeman, also good start of him. Milan Vader.
Oh, and Tucknott Ben Oliver of New Zealand making his way through. Because I think the New Zealanders now view this title as theirs. Yeah.
After Sam Gaze last 2 years.
Yeah, and Cooper winning it in the sprint finish at Andorra. And already you can see the carnage now coming through. Just Fraser Clafty picking his way through. He had a brilliant start to the relay, but unshipped his chain and lost a couple of minutes. He's just hooked up there by the look of it.
Filippo Colombo from Switzerland, he's in the lead after a few minutes in this race. Simon Andreasen here from Denmark. Blevins from the US.
And Oliver.
And Oliver from New Zealand, you're right with that.
And Vader. And Norderman there just...
And you see here the chaos after the start. There's a bottleneck always somewhere. And it doesn't matter how long that start lap of that start time will be.
Well, Vita Alban had battled his way up. And then laid the bike down. So lost the advantage he gained by coming up on the climb. But already we're starting to see the familiar chain coming through now.
I'm wondering which lap times these riders will have.
It's going to be quick, isn't it?
Riders closely together. More technical parts will follow shortly, which will spread out this group. But everything went pretty well at the start. Sometimes we have seen crashes, but it goes uphill from the start on, and that avoids a lot of problems.
Yeah, it just spreads it out nicely, doesn't it? Daskaloo is one of those riders who has missed the early break, and we're actually seeing the dual slalom living up to its name. Colombo takes the left-hand lane, but Vader's moved up into 5th place now. And on the Motor X climb, this is what, when you did the course preview, this is what you were saying. This is a tricky climb here with all the roots. It looks like it's dried out, but the roots are now exposed.
Yeah, Milan Vader over there, he had a good start as well. Filippo Colombo, Simon Andreas already 2nd place. Alan Hetterly, Petter Fagerhout from Norway.
And Blevins just on the back of this little group.
Different line for Alan Hetterly, taking it inside.
Ulloa of Mexico is up there as well.
There is Dubot from France. Another France rider over there.
And Martin Dina's had a good start as well, the Hungarian. So Antoine Philippe maybe a little bit further back than he'd like to have been.
Maximilian Brandl, 19th place.
And then
Such a good start for him.
Nilo Parancagné, another rider who's come on to good form lately. Thomas Bonnet as well. He's been having some great rides from way down the pack in the World Cups. But Daskalou, 35th place from the front row, so he's not going to be too happy with that. But just a minute across the top 40. Looks like they're trying to come back across. Norderman's managed to close up to the leaders, and then come the 2 Frenchmen.
Joshua Dubot
And Axel Zingel.
But it's Filippo Colombo who's still leading this pack. Petter Fagerhout with Alan Hetterly battling for that 2nd position. Simon Andreas on 4th place. Taking that Mercedes rock.
Now, who's that taking the beat on Andreas?
Sometimes when there's too much traffic in front of you, it's easier and better to take. Simon Andreas did that well. Now fighting back to that 4th place with Levins,
Yeah,
the
it was
US.
more a matter of not running into the back wheel of someone, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, if you ride on that rock, you will slow down automatically. And a few riders, that's still possible, but afterwards, the 4th, 5th rider, he will get stuck into that, and they have to brake too much, and especially on that big rock, you have to balance for like a second.
Yeah, and if you come off it, it's a long way down, isn't it?
It's pretty high.
Yeah.
Filippo Colombo.
Well, I would have put money on Colombo taking this out from the start. I think
He's from Switzerland.
Yeah.
He feels the pressure. And if what the team relay riders did, winning that gold medal, he has been one of them. It's a good start for the rest of the week. And that's what Switzerland already showed so far.
Oh, Vader was moving up there as well. I think Vader's just moved himself up to 3rd place. Ulloa, though, a name that we don't really see too often, because the Mexicans not really.
They come from altitude, maybe.
Yeah,
probably.
They do come for some races, but I wouldn't say they're regulars on the World Cup circuit. But
definitely not. But it's good to see them.
Yeah.
And it's good to see them in front of the race. Fraser Clarity from the UK, 33rd place. Milan Vara, he's on the 4th place, moving up. Joshua Dubot, the winner of the second place in the World Cup he had this year, was leading with 1 race to go. He had a flat tire in that race.
What a World Cup that was! That was a phenomenal battle between him and Fagerhaug. And
Petter Fagerhout, he won the World Cup Men U23 2018. David Norderman here with the number 8, taking a different line, more difficult. Ben Oliver from New Zealand.
Oh, Zinger just getting caught up there. Then coming through from Germany.
It's still Filippo Colombo. Anthony second. Hagerhau. Andreasen. Levens.
Who's that moving up strongly? Look like Lukas Schwarzbauer from Germany.
He's a very strong, powerful rider from Germany. I think a course like this will suit him pretty well.
Yeah, he's a big guy, isn't he?
I mean, 29 on his bike means 4th row.
Yeah, starting from the 4th row, so ready, getting himself up into contention towards the front of the race.
Yeah, especially on a course like this, it's hard for the riders to overtake each other when it comes down to the first few laps. Later on it's a bit more easier, but right now when the speed is high,
well,
you see how difficult it is.
Yeah, that's problems for Ivan Filatov from Russia.
But the first riders closely together. Another hard descent over here with so many roots. Luckily it's dry.
Oh, I think if this was wet, this would just be absolute carnage, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we had a lot of rain last weekend actually, which makes the course very muddy and very slippery, dangerous as well. But right now everything is dry, it's perfect. This morning it was still a bit wet, but luckily the race started at 4:30, pretty late during the day. Everything is dry again. Simon Andreas here taking that drop. Levens, just the same, different line. Let's see this group.
Yeah, we've got a little peloton here. Dubois.
That's good to
moving
see. A race
to the front.
in a race.
Yeah.
Makes it interesting to watch.
But hats off to Schwarzbauer to get across there.
Yeah, he's here.
Dina's having a good ride as well, the Hungarian.
This is going to be an interesting race. Of course, some of the sections they will spread out the field, but on parts like this, here on the asphalt, start-finish area, they will come back together again.
But they start to take a drink or just see who else is there.
Especially if they're still a group together. Of course, when they spread out, it will be different when it comes to the last few laps, but not right now in the beginning. They will fight for each technical part of the course to be in a good position. I mean, the top 10, almost here, the top 15 riders, they all still can win this race.
Yeah, Daskelu is maybe the big name that's missed out.
Yeah, you're right with it.
Back down in the 30s and 40 seconds or so down. And,
Joffre Cuyel from Spain. Yeah, normally we've seen him more to the front as well in the race.
He was on the podium, of course, at La Brèche. Oh, Yuri Zanotti. He's moving up. Well, he had a good ride in the relay. The Mexican, though, hitting the front, and I think we haven't seen that in a men's race. We've had it with Daniela Campuzano in the women before, but this would be.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
to see this Mexican rider leading the race. Pierre Froment from Belgium, number 21 on the bike.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that is always good with the.
Axel Singler from France, number 24 on his bike. Joshua Dubois now is in the lead. France, followed by the Mexican rider.
I think one of the things about mountain biking is because it's an individual sport, it does allow riders from other countries to maybe establish themselves a little bit more, whereas in road racing, if you haven't got a big team, you're going to struggle. But of course, Egan Bernal, who's been so outstanding for Team Sky on the road, he's the Colombian, he was a mountain bike World Championship medalist. Peter Sagan as well.
Same, yeah. He became world champion as a junior in Val di Sole in 2008.
Yeah, so road racing is what mountain bikers go to do when mountain biking gets too hard.
It's a good start for a young rider to start in cycling. It has everything into it.
See, these are some of the chases. Fincham blocking in there, but it's Dubout who's stretching it out. Then Ulloa, then Blevins, and these three have got a little gap now. And it's Vegahal who's trying to come past Vader to give chase. Then comes Hathaway.
See how bumpy that section over there is with the roots. Joshua Dubout in the lead, followed by Ulloa from Mexico.
Andreasen still in there as well, and then Schwarzbauer. Then comes Noorderman. Dina from Hungary.
Ben Oliver, New Zealand. Pierre Froment from Belgium.
Trying to see who those the chasers are behind Noorderman and Dina. Second to the Swiss. No, sorry, Colombo there with Oliver just behind him.
Yeah, after that fast first lap, Filippo Colombo, he has to pay the price for that.
And that's the problem sometimes, isn't it? The
adrenaline is high at the start. You have a lot of that for a few laps, but a race like this, 7 laps, it's a hard race. So that second lap, a bit different from the first one.
And Blevins leading a little bit of a revival for US men as well, because they've had a bit of a lean time, haven't they, in recent years?
Yeah.
The men's racing.
Of course, but on the women's side, with Kate Courtney, yeah, they have a very strong.
And Davison has been a World Championship medalist, of course. And so Dubout, he's got a little gap here.
And he's
4
pushing
seconds.
really hard. Levin's on second place, 4 seconds. Hadley 6 seconds. There's not that much in between these riders. Even Schwarzbauer was 7th place with 11 seconds. I mean, there's nothing in between. Small mistake here of Milan Vader earlier in the race. Now he has to pay for that. 19 seconds, 10th place for Milan Vader. But I mean, so far still everything is wide open. Also Joshua Dubout, now he's pushing the hammer down, but for how long? Can he do it for 7 laps? I don't think so.
No, we've just seen that Colombo couldn't keep it sustained for more than a lap. So it'll be interesting to see. Cuyao as well, the Spaniard. We know that he can come up
very strong
through the field.
You're right with that, yeah.
And Bonnet as well. Bonnet has made it a bit of a specialism.
Vascula, around 31st place, who won a World Cup this year. Vlad Vascula. Not a good start for him so far.
Hathaway's trying to move up.
Alan
the
Hathaway
lower
from
line.
South Africa, different line. Vagerau, 4th place, the winner of the World Cup 2018. The Men U23 race.
Just trying to get ahead of Blevins here. And
taking different lines.
Each time it's not quite working out for him.
I mean, there's no rush for him to overtake him. At least when he's not, when he's blocking him. But it doesn't look like that. I think he's coming back to the French rider Dubout.
He's got 5.5 laps. He's got some time to play with here. Very good ride here from Martin Dina from Hungary as well. I think it's.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's impressive. Dina, from Hungary. A good race so far. Pierre Fromo from Belgium. The Mercedes-Benz Rock.
Joe in there with in that second group, and then
4 leaders. Dubot, Blevins, Hadley, Fagrau, France, the US, South Africa, and Norway. Chasing group, Simon Andreasen, Ulloa, Schwarzbaumer, and David Noordeman.
This is a big chase coming across the gap though for Dino. He's trying to get across Vader. He's dropped back a little bit, then comes Oliver.
So if I'm right, 9 different nations in the top 9.
Antoine Philippe is on a charge now. He's just gone straight past to move himself up.
Speed is high, even here in the chasing group.
There goes Cuyal.
Spanish rider.
But these 4 are setting a good pace, and Andreasen now is the man who's leading the chase. Schwarzbauer.
Followed by David Noordeman.
And Joa, the Mexican, just at the back of that group. Now this is going to be interesting to see, because I think this is one of the tougher sections. But if
yeah, they have to leave a little bit of a gap in front of them. Yeah, Fagrau.
And that's
Schwarzbaumer from Germany, looking strong to me.
Yeah, he looked very good.
Ulloa from Mexico. And see if the riders riding too close together. Somebody in front of you make a mistake.
Just the back wheel went on a route there,
yeah,
I think.
We have seen it several times already over there.
And as you were saying, the more that they get ridden over, then they start to get polished as well.
It is. They might be lucky that it's not red anymore. Ulloa from Mexico. That's a great start so far. What can he do? Dina from Hungary. But it's still Joshua Dubot who's leading. And you see how difficult it is.
I think Colombo's gone. I think he's paying already for that big effort at the start. And it's looking, blocking out. It's moving up well for the home nation. But at the moment, it's looking like we might at least get the chance to hear a different national anthem later on.
I don't care. No, it doesn't matter actually, but what we already said, in this category, everything is possible, everything can win. Well, of course, there are some favorites.
I was thinking there are 15 guys in there, and I'll tell you now, in the top 10, out of the 15 guys I thought could win it, there's only about 7 of them. So there's another 3 or 4 guys that weren't even in my reckoning that are in the mix at the moment.
But if you look at
oh, that's Blevins having to just correct.
1 foot out. No crash, luckily.
So the 4 leading riders under the tunnel and into the finish straight to complete their second
But have
lap.
a look to the nations are in the top 10. I think it's 9 different nations in the top 10.
Yeah.
So it's France, South Africa, the US, Norway, the Netherlands, Germany, Denmark, Mexico, Hungary.
So potentially, it's all on this next rider. You're going to have 10 different countries. Oh no, Milan Vader.
Another Dutch guy.
Ben Oliver though.
But I mean, 9 different nations in the top 9. It's crazy.
It is good.
David Noordeman leading that chasing group, and they're coming back together. 8 riders.
pulling that group back up to the top.
With a lot of big names into it, who won World Cups already this year. They have the experience.
But Norderman looks pretty comfortable to me. Just got them back up, no real fuss.
Yeah, he knows as
well.
well.
He's hit the front now. Norderman hits the front and has a little dig out of the hairpin.
He's a strong climber, David Norderman.
It's Blevins who reacts.
Schwarzbaum was struggling with that high speed. Also Simon Andreas looks like in troubles over there on that climb, on that long asphalt climb.
Ulloa does look comfortable on that climb, you have
Milan
to say.
Vara leading this chasing group. He made that little bit of a mistake on that Motorex climb.
Yeah, it just cost him a little bit, didn't it?
It costs so much energy to get back to the leaders again.
Yeah, Andreasen just dropping to the back of the group, and Dina's managed to get across, and now trying to come across Antoine Philippe. He's the next man trying to reach the leaders. Good lap there as well from Sean Fincham of Canada to move himself up. And Colombo, I think Colombo. I think he's massively misjudged this.
At least we have seen him the first lap, in front of the race. He has been pushing hard, but right now he has to pay for that.
Is that a bit of tape on his bars? It might have maybe caught
Might
himself
so.
up on the tape.
Yeah, you're right with that. We haven't seen that on screen, but more things happen in a race what we don't see.
Quick sprint to try and get into the descent at the front, and it's Hathaway leading them through. Dubois, Blevins, Norderman.
Different lines for these riders. Fagerhout, 5th place. Ulloa from Mexico. Dina. Simon Andreas, Schwarzbaumer from Germany.
And then coming across Antoine Philippe, so he's starting to move up now.
Yeah, he didn't have such a good start, but now he's in the front.
Yeah, he's
number 17 on his bike.
He was making the most of the sections through the pits and some of the straights, just to jump up 2 or 3 riders at a time. Happily though, maybe he's got the advantage of having Barry Sander on his shoulder here. Of course, the late great Barry Sander, the first ever African to win a cross-country World Championships, and he still really does have a big impact on the young South Africans.
Yeah. It's sad the way how he dies.
And just take an opportunity as well whilst we're watching this, send our best wishes and love to Jared Graves, the Australian all-rounder really, the four cross downhill and cross-country racer. He's sadly just announced that he's suffering with a brain tumour, so lots of love from everyone here at the UCI Mountain Bike World Championships to Jared, and we hope that he has a swift and complete recovery. Back to the race. Cuyel starting to move up for Spain.
Yeah, not such a good start for him in this race so far. Can he come back to the leaders? Normally you have seen him fighting hard in the World Cup races this year. And he's doing that again here today in the World Championships race, Men U23. But the speed is high. Alan Hatterley, Joshua Dubois, David Norderman.
No, I'm just thinking back, and this is a race where Switzerland have done a 1-2-3 in the past, and it's really interesting that they don't even have a rider in the top 10. So it's just that transitional year, maybe.
It might be. I mean, a Swiss rider won the junior race yesterday, so new talented riders are coming up. Sometimes you have years where it doesn't happen like that.
Andreasen's got himself back up, and Philippe is just about to make contact with the back of the group now.
Antoine Philippe from France.
Another rider who in the last round of the World Cup was riding strongly and then had some problems and some bad luck, but happily at the moment is leading the way. Jabot, Blevins.
A strong ride from Blevins. Vager out 5th at the moment. Dina Andreasen. Ulloa. Tom Philippe on 10.
Fincham's moved up well here. He's moved up lap on lap, so will he be able to get himself into the top 10 next time around? Kuyao now up to 15th.
There's Filippo Colombo in Switzerland.
Yeah, it's Vital Alban is actually the first of the Swiss riders, and he started way back on 6th row, I think. So he's come through quite well.
It looks like Alan Hatterley's pushing the hammer down again.
Yeah, he's got a gap this time, and it's a significant gap for the first time.
First we saw Filippo Colombo pushing hard at first lap. Second lap it was Joshua Dubois was pushing hard. Now it's Alan Hatterley.
Yeah, Blevins just taking the lower line to move ahead with Dubois into second place, but Hatterley's going to go into the Mercedes-Benz Rock with maybe 2 or 3 seconds lead. Blevins in second.
I would say don't spend your energy too early in a race like this.
No, absolutely.
Wait a little bit. 7 laps.
Because
it's hard.
And that run into the finish is there's a lot of opportunity.
Simon Andreas taking that beeline again. If a rider is too close in front of him, he's taking that beeline.
I think maybe as well he's been looking at how some of the other riders are hitting it, and if he's not confident
with that rider in front of him,
he's thinking, yeah,
why not?
It's
just a few. I wouldn't say even a few seconds. It's maybe a split second.
Yeah, I can close 2 meters
easily afterwards. Well, probably he can carry on more speed.
Wow, Hatterley and Blevins are starting to get the gap now. Dubois doesn't seem to be. I don't know if he's able to or whether he wants to close this gap yet. It could well be, as you were saying, but he's thinking, no, I've got more than half of this race to go. I don't want to go crazy just yet.
This is serious for Hatterley, what he's doing.
It's a big gamble, really, to go this early, isn't it?
If he feels strong, why should he wait? It will help the riders a little bit, but still, if they come to start-finish area over there and nobody would like to do the work, they might the group might slow down as well as a group. Schwarzbaumer here, the last rider from Germany of that group. Lindberg from Denmark. Another strong Danish rider.
Yeah, then comes Vedder, then Hegstad, Kuyao, Oliver. Just looking at Hatterley through there again.
Mercedes-Benz Rock. You see riders taking that edge, that big rock. Blevins back to Hatterley. No problems for Blevins.
He's quite a big engine kind of guy, isn't he, as well?
He's doing a lot of road races, then definitely he will have.
Yeah,
David Nordeman is coming in 3rd place.
Arguably that might be why we haven't seen Blevins being quite so influential in the World Cup races earlier this year. That he's split. Oh, that's a problem for Fagerhager again.
Technical problem, chain off.
Chains off. Oh,
that costs a lot of time.
Yeah, but if you're gonna put your chain back on, do it right in the middle of the track.
You can see the expression, his body language, what he says. Doesn't say anything good.
No. And that was his first error earlier in the race.
Then the chain came off. Now you see the chain is off.
Yeah.
No chain on. Has to stop again.
And again, that's what we were saying about the switch now for the single chain ring.
Normally the chain doesn't come off if you're still riding, but now the bike fell down, so sideways. Then there's no tension, even on the rear wheel. The tension went off. Then it's dangerous to drop the chain.
Going to have been in quite a low gear as well, hasn't he, through that section? So.
But still, I mean, it's always possible that things go wrong with your drivetrain.
So he's going to have to expend a little bit of energy to
Yeah, but you
Jump
saw the,
back up.
the motivation, what he said. His body language didn't tell anything good to me.
No. Oh, a little bit of a issue for Daskelu as well. Another man who maybe isn't on it today. The Romanian.
And Mark Bouwmeester from the Netherlands, here, number 40 on his bike. He had a bad crash last year in Cairns in training. But luckily he recovered from that. And back in good shape.
Well, coming through the complete lap, and it's South Africa against the USA. And they've got a gap here now. Hatherley and Blevins have definitely stretched it out here. Now you gotta think a long time back. I think to a US world champion in mountain biking. I'm thinking Walker Ferguson might be the last one in the men's.
Bronze medal.
Yeah. So it's been a while coming.
David Norman, third place, but he lost a little bit in that section over there. 11 seconds back right now. Joshua de Boer, 17. So they're pushing hard in front of the race.
So Fagerhaug dropping back to 9th. He's going to have to compose himself and do it all over again. But at the moment, these two look like they're trying to take advantage of that 10-second lead that they have. And if they can stretch it out a little bit more by the top of the climb, then they could have a chance. Now, this is the thing, you know, can you work together? It's not really something you can do on a mountain bike race,
they wouldn't work together. I think they would slow down each other.
Yeah.
Because it's Hatherley pushed the hammer down, but it was Blevins who came back, so Hatherley will slow down again because he knows Blevins is strong as well. So
yeah.
if he's pushing too hard, he will spend too much energy, what he needs to have for the last few laps. We saw that with Filippo Colombo, with Joshua Dubois. David Norman is coming in third place.
Across the
yeah,
gap.
but that's just, I mean, 11 seconds on the climb. It's not that far, so I think it's more like the same. South Africa is leading in this race.
Well, we're talking about a while back for medals. It's been a while for a Dutch, back to it would have been Michiel van der
Michiel
Heide.
van der Heide, he became world champion, I think,
4 years
ago. Yeah, 4 years ago, yeah. As a man under 23, he was junior world champion as well. Michiel van der Heide.
Not racing here this weekend.
Even not qualified in the men's elite category, so it's a bit sad.
He's here watching, and yeah, just had a chat with him, and he's got one more race, and he's looking forward to a holiday. And that's the thing I think that sometimes we don't appreciate with these guys. It's a lot of effort through the year, and for some, this race marks the you can put your feet up and you can have your burger and your pizza and everything after this weekend.
David Norman, third place, followed by Joshua Dubois from France. Fourth for Joshua Dubois. Actually, his father, Ludovic Dubois, he has been racing the time I was racing.
Yeah, he was a very good rider himself, wasn't he? And it's
he has another brother. I don't know if he's participating in this race too, from France.
Yeah,
he was a strong rider, also strong in cyclocross.
Yeah, his brother's been suffering a little bit, I would say, from starting further down the grid. And the trouble with this under-23 men's race is that it's very high quality.
It is.
Towards the front of the race.
It's really high quality.
Some races you can come in with a lower ranking and within a lap and a half you've moved up. Not the U23 men, I would say.
That's what we already discussed. And they go flat out from the beginning of the race, and lap by lap, new riders are leading. Alan Hatherley, who is still in the lead, he put the hammer down in that previous lap.
He's trying to stretch it out as well. And they've got a healthy lead over Norderman. Not too far back though to Dubois.
It looks like Joshua Dubois is coming back.
Yeah, he's not a rider who panics, is he? He's someone who...
Axel Zingler from France.
That's a good move up from Zingler.
Yeah, it is. It's Hatterley and Blevins who is leading in this race. And I think they both have something left. They're not giving everything they have at the moment. Of course, it's a 7 laps race. The sun comes out.
Well, it's 9 years since Burry Stander was world champion in Canberra. So it's good to get fired up. Just over 5 years since he passed away. So Hatherley. Oh, little mistake from Blevins there on the roots.
He's back.
You can just they can flick the wheel so easily, the roots, can't they? So
and these full suspension bikes help the riders so much to carry on their speed on these difficult sections.
And I noticed David Norderman on the new full suspension bike from American Eagle.
You're right with it.
Bart's doing very well not to plug his own bike here right now.
Not to promote my own brand.
But it's the full suspension bike is, for these guys, it's going to be the weapon of choice.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We saw with Sina Fry riding a hardtail, but she's tiny.
Yeah,
so the full suspension doesn't
not
really
that much
give
used to it as well.
Yeah.
You have to get used to it as well. It's a bit of a different style of riding as well, but also most of the time in the younger categories, like the real, especially in the women's category, the younger women's category, we don't see too many full suspension bikes, but it's coming even more and more. But in the men elite category, everybody's riding full suspension.
Well, from 5th down to 11th, probably a little bit. Yeah, 14th. There's only 10 seconds, and they're only 10 seconds behind Dubois at the moment. So we've still got, I would say, something like 13 riders still in contention for medals in this race.
Yeah, if somebody put the hammer down, then the gap's opening, but afterwards they're coming closer together again when they slow down a little bit. And it looks like these two leaders, with Christopher Blevins and Alan Hatterley, that they slow down a little bit because the race at 7 laps, they don't.
You've got to keep something
want
in
to
the
do
tank.
all the work. Yeah, you need to have something in your tank. So David Norderman on 3rd place just took that Mercedes-Benz rock.
I think he's stretched it out a little bit over Dubois now. He had 9 seconds on him earlier.
It looks like some of the sections suits different riders.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, where it's the man-made sections, a power rider can really close up there, but as soon as you hit some of the more technical sections, it's going to be hard.
So the front suspension of Hatterley is still working and not locked. I don't know why he forgot it or he's not.
But that can be quite a bit of expended energy.
Yeah, it's annoying actually when it's not doing the way what you like to do.
All right, so Norderman, he
out
was
of the saddle.
21 seconds back. It's round about the same. He's just lost 1 second, so not really anything to speak of. But it's the gap back to Dubois now. It was 9 seconds before. So Dubois, I think, is dropping back. Yeah, he is, and he's getting caught here. He's getting caught by Zingler.
The other French rider.
No, Philippe, sorry. Antoine Philippe.
Yeah, you're right with that, yeah.
Antoine Philippe. Then Ojoa is still in the mix. A Mexican. Lindbergh, Fegahau. Getting passed by Couillard.
The Spanish rider Coulel also.
Body language for Fegahau just isn't positive, I don't think.
And the Swiss rider Albin
So I think any one of those 14 guys is still in with a shout of a medal here. 1 minute is not at the pace that they're riding. I think, oh, another little mistake from Blevins, hooking up on that route again. 1 minute at the pace that these guys are riding isn't quite as substantial a lead as it was in the under-23 women's race.
Yeah, the speed is much higher.
Yeah.
David Noordeman. Third place. Small mistake for him as well.
Didn't lose too much though.
But the way how he recovered from that, it's impressive actually.
Yeah, it's all about the momentum, isn't it? It's don't lose the momentum, and then don't waste your time trying to clip back in. And
you see how fast he's back into the pedals again. Blevins first. Small mistake.
Yeah, that was a little bit more time consuming for Blevins. He just had to.
It costs energy for him as well. And Alan Hadley, he feels that he will make a mistake.
And it's as if you were watching the under-23 women's race, we saw Sina Fry make a couple of mistakes in quick succession, and you could see that had an effect on her sort of mentally as well. But this is a great ride. Vital Alban coming up now, and he just gave a masterclass of how to ride that routed section. Dropped down very low, but then could pop back up, avoiding the main route. Vader dropping back a little bit after his...
Fagerhaug also dropping back.
We've got Hagstad and Lindberg. Oliver as well, who was early, and he's actually... Oliver's been passed by Eden Cruz. Oh, the two Kiwis taking each other out. And there is the man who led us on that first lap.
Filippo Colombo, Switzerland.
It's not going to be a second rainbow jersey for him of the championships, is it?
Christopher Blevins taking probably that inside line, that big, no, also the same line as Alan Hadley did. So, these are your two leaders. Taking a drink, taking a gel, taking the energy, what they need to have.
And this is one of the only places really, other than the technical assistance area, where there's a chance to...
Yeah, and even on that deck feature over there, it's still... it goes all slightly up below the other section, it's very fast.
And it's gravelly as well, isn't it? So
and also on that tar afterwards, that climb, I mean, you need to have your oxygen, your breathing. And then it's not easy to have a drink or time to take a gel.
So Noordeman still around about the 20-second mark, but
losing a bit of seconds, not too much.
But Dubois is dropping back, and this is looking like Fagerhaug coming through. Dubois, Fagerhaug, then comes
Ulua, the Mexican rider, Antoine Philippe.
But Cuyao is starting to move up now, so he's in a lap. He's moved up about 7 places, so don't discount the Spaniard.
Fagerhaug together with Andreasen, numbers 9 and 10 in the race. But I mean, from the 4th place till what you said, almost the 14th place, these riders are very close together.
There's still only 1 minute across the top 14 there.
So 46 minutes race time what we have so far.
Löcklinger, he's currently running in 15th, and that's a good ride from Löcklinger because he was way back on the 5th row.
Now it's Blevins who is in the lead. Probably this part of the course suits him really well.
Just tap out a nice tempo up the climb. Athlete just slots into his wheel. Noordeman still there in 3rd place.
On his own. Chasing.
And again, he's got a very different physique, isn't he? He's much more upright and open sort of chest. You can see Blevins is hunkered down a little bit more over the bars. But it's what works for you, isn't it?
It is like that, yeah, you're right with that. A different style. We saw Keller compared to Sina Frey. Totally different style, but yeah, what works good for you?
Yeah,
why should you change it?
All of the calculations that you have for track riders, you know, working out.
Yeah, like aerodynamic.
That goes out of the window for mountain biking, isn't it?
It's different. Probably even a more straight up position is even better, because the descents, the time what you can gain or lost in the descent, it's so important in mountain biking. David Noorderman, third place from the Netherlands.
And you can see he's always able, from that position, to just look ahead and look at where the line that he's taking. The chasers, still Vegerhaug,
Dubois. That's Ulua, it's a Mexican rider.
So he's still.
Yeah.
And it's
Ulel is coming too, the Spanish rider. Yes, Vegerhaug.
Yeah.
Dina.
Actually, yeah, Dubois dropped right back, because that was Philippe leading that through. So Dubois is out the back of this group. So Dubois, one of the early challenges, he's dropping back, and Schwarzbaum is still in there, Alban and Fincham.
Yeah, from Canada, Fincham.
So Dubois dropped down from 4th place. And now Blevins on the front, happily able to stick with him though. This is one of those sections, as you were saying, there's great opportunity to just have a look around and see where the others are.
Yeah.
As you're coming through here.
And they know exactly lap by lap which positions they are, if they have to accelerate, if they can slow down, to save some energy. Because also the leaders, they are, I think, equal in strength. Maybe Hatterley a bit stronger, but also Blevins, he's in a great shape. He came back to Hatterley when he pushed down the hammer. But also this group, this chasing group of 6-7 riders, they are very close together.
And still possible for any one of them to jump across, really, to try and close into Noorderman. And then once you're on Noorderman, you can jump across again to...
Yeah, I mean, that bronze medal, that's still wide open. Blevins and Hatterley, different lines for both on that Motorex climb.
Blevins just
pushing
the
hard
pressure on, yeah.
Now Blevins, who is in the lead. Same bike for both. Different color, but specialized bike.
And of course, they've got Anneke Lampard coming up tomorrow, riding in her national colours of Denmark, but a specialised team rider as well. Kate Courtney as well from the USA. So
Kulavi as well, in the man elite category.
He's always an interesting one, Jaroslav, isn't he?
He won here before.
Yeah, it hasn't been a great season for him, but...
Antoine Philippe from France, leading this chasing group.
Yeah, then comes Ojoa, and then it's Jonas Lindberg actually now from Denmark. So Andreasen struggling a little bit, and Lindberg is the leading Dane now. Vital Alban starting to pick off riders too as he comes through.
With Schwarzbaum in front of him.
But crucially, they are all still to come through the checkpoint. So it's 23 seconds the gap from Noorderman back to Philippe and Ojoa and Lindberg, Puyel, Vegerhaug. So it's getting closer. Getting closer. Noorderman's just dropped off the pace a little bit.
Fincham from Canada, 13th place.
It's still only 1:15, so still not an unsurmountable gap.
Right.
Certainly back to bronze. It's only 40 seconds for Fincham to bronze. So
the two leaders, Christopher Blevins with Alan Hatterley, the US and South Africa.
Levin's just, I think, starting to test Hatherley a little bit. Just
Bronze medal for David Noorderman at the moment. Third place on his own.
And he will get the chance just to look across to his left and see where the chasers are, and I think they will be in view, but that loop is worth about 20 plus seconds.
But the chasing group is becoming bigger, closer together.
Yeah. With
Antoine Philippe, who's leading.
There they are.
Yeah.
Joa pushing on and that's Lindberg in fact. Lindberg launching himself through to move up to 4th place now. Philippe in 5th, Ulloa in 6th.
Jose Ulloa.
And it's Joffre Cuyel coming up there, the Spanish rider. And we've been saying that he is someone who quite often moves up in the later parts of the race. Well, he is definitely doing that now as Noorderman climbs up through the technical assistance zone and coming through to the split point. It's 32 seconds, it's still 32 seconds.
That stays the same for him.
So it's 55 seconds was the gap back to Philippe.
But that chasing group probably is pushing hard.
Well, it's a little bit slower though. They've lost a couple of seconds actually. Lindberg now, Cuyel going through. Looks like the Mexican is starting maybe to suffer. Dina still having a great ride here, the Hungarian in 9th place. Andreasen in 10th. Alban first of the home nation in 11th. Schwarzbauer and Finchen right behind him. And then I think we're going to have a pretty big gap back to
that 14th place.
Yeah.
David Noorderman in 3rd. Only 34 seconds, or 32 seconds behind the leaders.
It's Blöcklinger of Switzerland who's gone through in 14th. He's about 18 seconds down. But still, anything really can happen in this race.
They have to cross the finish line, 2 more laps to go.
Well, that's a lot smoother that time from Noorderman through there.
Antoine Philippe. Ulloa. Ulloa.
Yeah, he's managed to get back to them, the Mexican, hasn't he? So,
but Lindberg, he's leading this group just in front of Antoine Philippe. Small mistake.
Yeah, Cuyel, and that is then taken out the Mexican, and that's going to allow Dina to close up now. The Hungarian will have the Mexican in his sights. Andreasen just behind, then Alban, then Schwarzbauer and Finchen. So these guys are all massing around the top 15. So at the moment, it's looking like it's Blevins and Hatherley.
Blöcklinger from Switzerland.
Yeah, 14th place for him. It's a good solid ride. He's got himself ahead of a couple of the Norwegians as well, who started well ahead of him on the grid. But here we go into the arena then. Blevins leading them through. Hatherley. They'll just ease off slightly through here, I think. Just as Hatherley takes the bottle.
Yeah, they're slowing down, but still, I mean, the gap will still be there.
Yeah, because everyone else is going to do the same as they come through.
Yeah, probably not David Noorderman. He's in 3rd place by himself. Nobody else in front or behind him. And he wouldn't slow down on these sections, but still, I mean, it looks like they slow down a little bit, but also that's the moment when they recover, and afterwards they go even faster.
And it's deceptive as well, isn't it? Because on the tarmac, the speed
is still high.
Is high, but it just doesn't look
He brings
as quick.
down
Yeah,
the
he's taking it down.
with 7 seconds. Might motivate him. At least it does me.
Well, yeah, but as he's not just his compatriot, but his team manager as well. I think we could end up getting a very excitable commentary box here in a couple of laps' time. Lindberg,
Lindberg is coming back too to
chasing
that 3rd place.
and now Fagerhaug is. Fagerhaug is getting a little bit of a gap.
Coulal 6th place and Antoine Philippe 7th. Geoffrey Coulal from Spain.
So you're now in 8th, Andreasen, Alban, Dina Schwarzbauer and Fincham. And then looking for the second Swiss.
Did you hear the music in the background?
Tulips from Amsterdam.
Tulip from Amsterdam.
I think they're trying to encourage David Norderman.
Yeah, maybe he can bring the flowers back home.
Yeah, I think they might. Maybe they'll crack out some Ladysmith Black Mambazo for Alan Hathley on the next lap. These two, though, Hathley and
Christopher
Blevins,
Blevins from the US.
They're the guys setting the pace.
It looks like Fagerhaug found his energy back after a few mistakes early in the race, which disappoint him a bit.
I think Philippe is out of the reckoning now as well. He's been dropped by Fagerhaug, so he can't ride off the Norwegian just yet.
But what we saw, David Norderman, he came back 7 seconds to these leaders when they slowed down a little bit at the round start-finish area. South Africa in the lead, followed by the US, Christopher Blevins. Coulal. Happy with him. Maybe he touched handlebars with Antoine Philippe. David Norderman, 3rd place, going into this descent. 2 more laps to go.
And looks like Hathley has had another little dig, and it's snapped the elastic here for Blevins. Blevins has got to respond
easily, I would say.
Yeah, not quite as drastic as I first thought it was. It's a nice little section across the meadow there for you to close back up again.
Also for the spectators over there.
Yeah.
Beautiful to watch the race from that place.
And we've been very lucky because we were looking out the window at the clouds, and it seems to be clearing up now. So it
looks like tomorrow they expect a lot of sunshine again. So right now the conditions, actually the course, it's pretty nice. It's dry. And for tomorrow in the women elite, the man elite category, it looks like it's going to be a fast course.
And it's sort of 17 degrees. That's a nice temperature to be racing in, isn't it? It's not too hot.
Maybe the altitude might affect the riders a bit.
Yeah.
So David Norderman, 3rd place. You can see the leaders, but there are a few switchbacks ahead of him.
Well, a man who is not able to experience altitude too much when he's back home. Head down to Valken.
He is living around.
Head down to the Kauberg. Maybe.
No, he's not living under sea level, but just a few meters above.
Well,
but Lindberg, he has a good race, and also Fagerhaug. He's not that far behind Lindberg. There he is, Fagerhaug, the Norwegian who won the World Cup this year.
So Norderman just having that little look ahead. That maybe will be enough to spur him on again, to see that the Dane is trying to close the gap now. It's a Scandinavian battle in for 4th and 5th place between Lindberg and Fagerhaug.
Yeah, it gives us a good idea where everybody is if you see this shot over here. And also the riders, they do, if they have time for that, because everything is still that close together, I would say.
So Kuya and Philippe in 6th and 7th place.
Alan Hadley is pushing hard right now. Small gap to Blevins. Different line, inside. Norderman.
This is going to be interesting to see.
Did he bring back that gap?
Yeah, he took back a handful of seconds. And I think it's gone out. It's gone out again.
Yeah. Lindberg, 4th place. Fagerhout, 5th place. Norderman, 39 seconds back.
So, all importantly, is the gap back to Lindberg now.
But we saw Hadley was pushing hard also between him and Blevins. There was a small gap.
Oh,
So it's getting serious.
14 seconds, the gap between Nordman and Lindberg.
That's coming back too.
Yeah. And then another 10 seconds back to Fagerhout. So it's looking like the Dane is the big challenge now for the medals.
Lindberg.
Alban's trying to get past Cuyel and the pursuit now up to 7th place, the Swiss rider. Good ride from him. Started with a 52nd place on the grid.
Simon Andreasen, the 2nd Danish rider in the race. A small gap in between these two riders. Means the speed is high. Hadley's pushing hard.
Do you think he's gonna go for one more big attack on the last lap, maybe?
I think he will try everywhere where it's possible and put the pressure on them.
Because I think I'm trying to think back in terms of sprint finishes and the like as to what we've had, and just my gut feeling is Blevins with that
road
experience might just be. It is a road finish, isn't it? Really,
it's a road finish. Definitely it is. David Norderman, 3rd place. Where is Lindberg? That battle for bronze. There he is.
Still around about 10, 11 seconds at least, I would say.
But probably he feels Norderman in front of him.
And of course Lindberg,
he's out of the pedal.
Inspired by the Danish performance in the relay as well. So they'll be looking to add another medal to their tally.
Blevins back to Hadley.
We're going to see the first medals from South Africa and the USA if it carries on at this rate, though. Now, Norderman.
Where is he? There he is. Out of the saddle, pushing hard.
Just looking to see if Lindberg's come across that bridge yet. He hasn't, so...
Another drink for David. Happening. He brought it back with 2 seconds again.
Yeah, I think this is going to look like, this is looking to me like it's 2 battles now. Battle for gold and silver, battle for bronze. But if one of these guys has a mechanical...
14 seconds in between the numbers 3 and 4. Norderman and Lindberg.
So he's holding him off at the moment.
Fagerhout, it's coming back a little bit. 1 minute to the leaders.
Hatherley though at the front, which is where you want to be through the Mitas Muddy climb. Pretty much textbook through there from Alan Hatherley. Cannot shake Christopher Blevins though off his wheel just yet.
He tried already many times. Norderman, bronze so far.
It'll be a first medal of the championships for the Netherlands as well.
A little bit more than 1 lap to go for him.
Nice and smooth though.
Nice and smooth, yeah.
And that gives you a big boost as well. If you get through there, all of a sudden you're thinking...
Lindberg, not that far behind Norderman actually, but small mistake of him.
Oh, and that line as well, that threw him off there. So that's going to cost him a second or two. And you can
Yeah, it
just
gives
see
you a
Figueroa
boost. If you
behind.
make it smoothly, sections like that, it helps a bit.
You can see Figueroa just behind. Then comes Philippe Alban.
Antoine Philippe,
Yeah.
France.
Little Alban, Geoffrey Cuyel, and Andreessen, I think it was. But surely now they are out of contention for the medals. It's the 4 or 5 guys ahead of them.
These sections over here, that's about a few hundred meters before the finish line, before they take that bridge with the red carpet. So positions over here in that last lap
Could be vital.
are very important.
Yeah,
if the speed is high, you can keep on that speed to the finish line.
This
It's
is
a very important section over here. To have a look at it as well for us.
I mean, we'll expect Blevins to come back up onto the wheel of Hathaway as they come through. Once again, it's going to be, Hathaway just has a little look.
One more lap.
So it's a 1-lap shootout now for the rainbow jersey. South Africa against the United States of America. The live MC Max Kluwers from South Africa, I think he will go completely crazy if Hathaway can do it here.
Hathaway, he's the last year Man U23, but Christopher Blevins actually, he's from 1998. So 2 more years for him in this category.
Noorderman coming through. Now, if there's any mistakes from the 2 guys in front of him, Noorderman could be swapping that bronze medal position for something even better. 38 seconds still.
But that's the same for Noorderman and Lindberg. I mean, the battle between these 2 for bronze.
Yeah.
That's still exciting too.
Now, it was around about 54 seconds. Lindberg.
What are these guys going to do?
So close. I think Hathaway's going to have another little dig on this climb.
17 seconds between Noorderman and Lindberg. And also to Fagro. That stays a little bit the same.
Just slacked off the pace a little bit there on the climb. Just a look across the Blevins.
So Noorderman into for a bronze medal. Last lap for him. Took another drink.
Well, Fagro is not making any progress in closing that gap. He's still 102 behind. So it's more or less the same as it has been all the way around. It's now a matter of, has somebody got one big last lap effort in them to close up now? These 2 still pretty much nothing to choose between them.
The 2 leaders, South Africa and the USA.
And Philippe Cuyel, Alba and Andreessen still looking at their battle for top 10 places, but
David Noorderman. Not that far anymore.
is there a point on this course where you can actually start thinking, yes, I'm there on?
There is.
And not just on the tarmac, but
No, I think each meter what you have done in that last lap, yes, it goes through your mind.
yeah. I mean, those last routes, they don't look the most technical section, but you could still make a mistake there, couldn't you?
Yeah, it is, but I mean, I think the concentration will be still there for all of these. But the fight between the numbers 1 and 2, that's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, for David, there's something left to play to the front, but also to the back.
Well,
Hathaway's pushing the hammer down again.
This was where he tried to go last time.
It looks like he's technically a bit better compared to Christopher Blevins.
Now Blevins chased hard and got across. He's going to need to expend a bit of energy to get to the South African's wheel.
Hathaway's pushing the pressure down on Blevins.
Just looking back on tricky descent, and Hathaway, it's only a second advantage, but it is an advantage at the moment, and Blevins has to come back to him.
But I would say they are still together.
Yeah, that's just the natural gap that appears on a descent, really, isn't it?
You need to have
a
little bit of a gap. Otherwise, if Hadley makes a mistake, he will have the same problem. Maybe that next section, the Motor X climb, that off-road camber section, covered by roots.
Look at that, Blevins just really pushing hard to close that gap now.
This is already the moment when Hadley put the pressure on Blevins. Because that technical part, he has to be exhausted.
Norderman though, still there. Still.
Chris Lindberg, 4th place, where he is, we don't know.
Oh, that's a little bit of an extended gap now.
Yep, this is how it starts.
It's starting to go into the duel, and I'd say that's now 2 or 3 seconds. The
now
advantage
it's getting
for
serious.
Hadley. This is where he's got to go now, isn't it? He's really got to go for it. He's got the gap. He's got to ride this bike like he's stolen it and try and get away from Blevins. Can Blevins respond?
Different line for Blevins. But he still looks good to me.
Yeah, this is not an advantage that you can...
but at least first he has to close the gap. It's a few seconds in between these two.
Can't take this for granted, can you, though? This lead for Hadley is not enough to relax.
No, not at all. Nothing to relax.
It's got 3 seconds, maybe.
But there is a gap.
Oh, 6 seconds. 6 seconds now. Hadley, can he keep his nerve? Can he stretch this out? And make history. Only the 2nd South African to win a cross-country title.
David Noorderman, bronze at the moment for him in this last lap.
Just looking to see in the background, is there a flash of red and white? Not yet. So he's still got enough of a gap on the chasers for the 3rd place. And he looks pretty smooth through there. Hadley, though, is stretching this now. Alan Hadley.
He's going to do it.
He's got Burry Stander on his shoulder here, guiding him home. And this is going to be emotional back in South Africa. The man who has been viewed as Burry Stander's apprentice, if you like, the next big talent to come out of Africa. And he's stretching it away. Blevins, that is going out now. Blevins cannot respond to the acceleration of Hadley.
Noorderman on 55 seconds. Fagerhoog 4th at the moment. Where's Lindberg?
Oh, he's dropped back. So Fagerhoug now is the challenger to Noorderman in bronze. But I think Hadley now, surely, is riding away with this. There's just a couple of kilometres to go. And he'll get a massive boost when he comes through the pits.
See this band's rock last time. Also for Blevins. There he is, there he is.
Be closer. I think that's closer to about 10 seconds now for Hadley. His teammates in the pits from the Rainbow Nation will be cheering on.
10
Alan
seconds.
Hadley. Blevins has got to do something superhuman now to close the gap. Noorderman has the luxury of looking across the sea where Fagerhoug is going to be, the Norwegian.
Because Fagerhoug now on 4th place, Lindberg on 5th. Fagerhoug, who won the World Cup title 2018. A Norwegian rider.
Hadley up
there he is.
Through the pits. Well, look at the gap. It was 10 seconds last time we checked. It's going to be more than 10 seconds. This time, Alan Hadley has ridden this race to absolute perfection. It's going to be closer to 15 seconds.
Christopher Blevins, 2nd place. 14 seconds.
Take nothing away from Christopher Blevins. This has been a very, very good ride from the young American. Remember, he's giving away a couple of years' experience to Hadley, but Hadley has measured his race perfectly. Now, where is Noorderman? We're looking out for the man of orange now.
There he comes. Taking the bridge. Crossing tech feed zone for the last time.
And no sign of Fagerhoug yet in the background. So it's looking like Noorderman is going to take the bronze medal here for the Netherlands. He's not taking anything for granted though. Out of the saddle yet again, attacking, but Hatherley is bringing it home for South Africa.
The rainbow stripes, the jersey.
A rainbow jersey for the Rainbow Nation here in Lenzerheide. We saw emotion from Alessandra Keller in the under-23 women. I think we're going to see just as much from Alan Hatherley. It means so much to these riders, and particularly to South Africa.
Christopher Blevins, the USA, second place, silver medal.
He looks over his shoulder. He doesn't need to worry. He's got a gap, significant gap on Noorderman. But Blevins, I think, is starting to feel it.
He knows. Yeah, it's not that far anymore.
He's just got to stay upright now to claim the United States' first medal of this World Championships.
There's now David Noorderman, third place.
So 3 new countries are going to be on the podium here at Lenzerheide in the 2018 UCI Mountain Bike World Championships presented by Mercedes. It's going to be South Africa, the USA and the Netherlands claiming the medals here
Another
in the under-23
smooth ride for David
event.
Noorderman on that difficult technical section. Out of the saddle, sprinting. He knows as well, you're almost there.
I've got to say, well done to Bart Brentjens as well for keeping it under control here.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you. But this guy here,
his teammates,
wait for him.
Yeah, Hatherley.
South Africa.
Just expressionless on the face. He's just measured it all perfectly. And
there he is.
He's coming through the last few sections, looks behind.
He knows.
The smile's going to be on his face soon, I think. He's not sure. He's still not sure, but once he comes over the bridge, this is now when he can celebrate. Oh, he's celebrating from a couple of 100 meters out. Alan Hatherley is going to do what Bury Standard did 9 years ago and bring a rainbow jersey for the Rainbow Nation. South Africa take the gold in the men's under-23 race. Alan Hatherley is the world champion.
Congratulations, Alan.
What a great result for him. He's going to look behind. And Christopher Blevins, a brilliant ride from the young American here. Remember, he's still got a couple of years left in this category, and he's going to take silver. And that's a long time since we've seen the US up at the front of a World Championship men's race here. He takes silver. It's going to be a big hug for Hatherley. And now, looking back.
David Noorderman.
Yeah, David.
Where is he?
Oh, he's styling it up. He knows.
He knows. What a performance of him. Great to see that, David Noorderman. Bronze medal at the Worlds.
Great ride from David Noorderman. Congratulations to him.
Even another year left for him in this category.
Yeah, we're going to see some great competition in this category next year as well. But Noorderman takes the bronze. Allows himself a little puff up. Vergehal.
Winner of the World Cup of 2018.
Maybe, if he hadn't unshipped his chain, maybe he might have challenged.
What a ride for Lindberg as well.
Yeah, Lindberg in 5th place.
Danish rider.
Vittel Albon's going to give the home crowd something to cheer here for 6th place. And when you think he started 52nd on the grid, that is a phenomenal ride from Vittel Albon. Cuyel takes 7th place for Spain. 8th place going to be for Andreasen.
Simon Andreasen from Denmark. Also from a specialized team.
Ninth place, wheeling home. Antoine Philippe. left himself really with too much to do in the second part of the race.
Emotions.
Yeah. It's a sprint coming in, and Schwarzbauer takes Ajoa. Great ride as well though from Ajoa. And a sprint coming in. Oh, Dina just holding off Blöchlinger.
A great ride for Blöchlinger as well.
Yeah, he started well down in the grid. He's given it absolutely everything there on that last 200 metres. But wrapped in the rainbow flag of South Africa, heading over, we are going to be hearing from the new under-23 men's world champion very shortly.
He was controlling the race actually from the beginning.
Yeah.
He was pushing the hammer down several times, opening the gaps between the riders.
He just whittled down the field, didn't he? He took it from kind of 15 guys to 10 guys to 5, and then...
But from the beginning on, Alan Hatterley has been in the front. And he has probably the most skills to take these difficult sections. Christopher Blevins was very strong too, but not that good as he is.
Well, here's the new world champion.
Well done, Alan. That's an incredible piece of history you've done today.
Yeah, so stoked. I mean, I had a taste of victory in Monsanan about a month ago. And yeah, since then, just been grinding it out. I knew the possibility of winning was quite good, so it was a matter of just making sure the final preparations was perfect. And yeah, I can't believe I pulled it off. I mean, of all tracks for, a South African, obviously we don't ride, these sort of conditions and these sort of tracks. So yeah, unbelievable at altitude as well. I mean, that's normally the point I struggle with. So yeah, a dream come true right now.
Last title for under-23 from South Africa goes back to 2009, Australia with Barry Sander.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, last year I had a pretty close call with Sam Gaze. I was second, I think about 10 seconds behind or so. So yeah, to do one better this year is unbelievable.
Tell us a bit more about that race, that cat and mouse game with Christopher.
I know I could ride like quite fast and steady. I know Chris has a really big kick on him because he does a lot of road racing. So that was the last thing I wanted was for it to come down to a sprint. So on the last lap, I just wound it up and then just kept my head down all the way. And yeah, I managed to get a gap on him. And then yeah, it was just a matter of just keeping it safe all the way to the line.
That's a great shot. Congratulations, Alan. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, I'm glad we called that right, Bart, saying that he didn't want to wait for the sprint with Blevins.
No, the tactic that he used for this win was the perfect one. Put the hammer down in that last lap, taking a lot of risks maybe on these technical sections, but I think he has the skills to go just a little bit faster on these difficult parts of the course to drop Christopher Blevins. And he did it in style.
And he's added his name to a pretty impressive roll of honour, because the other two African world champions, Greg Minnaar, of course, one of the greatest downhillers of all time, and of course the Barry Sander. So a great ride from him. Here's the confirmation of the finish. Hatherley taking it 27 seconds ahead of Blevins. Noorderman getting the Netherlands' first medal of this championships with the bronze. Vergerhaug in fourth. Limburg, Alban rounding out the top six, and Colombo, our early leader, blew up pretty badly, didn't he, in the middle part? I think he held on reasonably well.
He recovered from that a little bit. Mark Bouwmeester from the Netherlands, 21.
Daskelu, who we would have maybe thought might have been closer to the front, down in the 20s. So maybe a little bit disappointing for the Romanian.
So your top three with David Noorderman from the Netherlands. He was most of the time in this race by himself, chasing the two leaders. Finished third, his best result ever this season.
Big Chris Blevins bringing the United States' first medal of this championships in second with the silver medal. Matched Hatherley for most of the race, but at the end couldn't stay with the South Africans' acceleration. And this man, as you said, Bart, just managed the race impeccably. Didn't ever panic, set the pace when he needed to, put in little attacks when he needed to, and in the end he soloed home to take South Africa's second ever under 23 rainbow jersey, and to do it here in Lenzerheide, as he said, at altitude. That's pretty much the hardest way you can do it.
And of course, what he said, I never used to ride it with the roots. But he did it. It doesn't matter.
He's going to believe now, I think, that he can win on any kind of
if
track.
If you can win Monsenan, and you can win here in Lenzerheide,
yeah, for sure.
You belong to the best riders of the world.
So, all a little bit of contrast to the U23 women, because everybody seems pretty happy with their finish on this one.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, but yeah, and of course Hathley and Blevins spend a lot of time together in the specialized truck
to analyze
the World Cups.
To analyze the race.
Yeah, they'll be talking about where did you win it then? Milan Vader giving a quick congratulations to his compatriot David Nordeman.
It is the cross-country men under 23. Meine Damen und Herren, herzlich willkommen zur offiziellen Siegerehrung im Rahmen der UCI Mountainbike-Weltmeisterschaft.
It's just relief as well, isn't it? To get it out of the way. You've done your race.
But even it doesn't look exhausted to me after the race like this.
It looks so fresh, doesn't it?
It is.
And David Lepatillon, the president of the UCI, will be awarding the medals, I think, here. Big. There's a huge team, really, from South Africa, and they have an amazing team spirit as well.
Spirit. That's what the right word, what you said. Spirit.
Well, proud moment for the Netherlands, proud moment for the CST Sound American Eagle mountain bike team, proud moment for Bart.
Thank you.
David Nordeman takes the bronze medal.
For the first time in his career, a medal at the World Championships. It starts with bronze.
The medals are presented by Mr. David Lepatillon, the president of the UCI. In second place, and a silver medal.
And a first medal for this guy as well, and I'm sure not a last one, because he's such a talent on the road as well as
hopefully he will stay in mountain bike.
Yeah, I think so. You know, that's the thing.
He has to stay.
Yeah.
Or while combine it at least.
And in first place, winner of the gold medal and world champion. Auf dem ersten Platz, Gewinner der Goldmedaille und Weltmeister, Alan Hathley, South Africa.
Second place last year and this year.
Yes.
Champion.
So an encouragement there for Blevins as well, because obviously Hathley, I think Hathley moves up next year. So Blevins has got to be thinking, you know,
if David does the same,
there, yeah,
why not? I will sign for that.
And he's still got 2 years left in this category as well. So
yeah, especially in the younger category, it always looks like the last year's riders are the strongest.
Yeah. And he's got himself a very nice Tissot watch into the bargain as well. And one of the things that I like with mountain bike as well, you join the Rainbow Club, don't you? If you've been a world champion.
Yeah, rainbow stripes in cycling, it's something magic. I think it's become because of there's a long history in cycling, and especially that jersey, a white jersey with these rainbow stripes. It's something, amazing to wear it.
And even, you know, mountain biking, it's the youngest discipline really, and yet it's still people just that heritage. There's still something. We've had issues, haven't we, in the past about jerseys and things like that, and people don't want to wear a national champs jersey necessarily. And sponsors, they all want to wear the rainbow jersey.
No doubt about this jersey.
So it's time for one of the most jubilant anthems in the world, the national anthem of South Africa. Congratulations to the new world champion, the 2018 UCI mountain bike world champion, presented by Mercedes-Benz. Alan Hathley of South Africa, Christopher Blevins takes silver for the United States of America, and David Noorderman takes bronze for the Netherlands. So it'll be Stroopwafels all round down in the CST
Champagne,
pits.
we will spread around.
Does Stroopwafels go with champagne? They go with everything.
They go with
don't
everything. You're right with that.
It's one of the world's greatest foods. And no doubt as well, there's going to be a braai on tonight for the South Africans. That's going to inspire their guys, I think, for tomorrow.
With some good wine from South Africa.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a race we've seen.
Yeah,
Amazing.
really good race. Two very different races that there have been today. If you caught the under-23 women's race earlier, it was a bit of a Swiss domination. But in this men's race,
9 different nations after a few laps leading the race. So that means a lot.
And you know, some of those nations not that familiar with the front of a race. Mexico, Hungary. You know, it's really encouraging to me, I think, to see that coming through. And you know, I think the next step is one of the great things that we're seeing is other nations. We've seen Lesotho in that race. We've seen riders coming from a whole range of countries.
Yeah, but also good to see these talented riders from the US back dominating the races.
Yeah,
because that's where everything started.
Yeah, and you know, it's been a while since we've had the US men up there. Who knows what they can do tomorrow in the certainly in the elite women's race. Kate Courtney got an outside shout of a medal, and Leah Davidson as well. If everything comes together for her, she knows what it takes to be on the podium. So we will see. That action is going to be with you tomorrow afternoon, so make sure you follow that. Don't forget, you can follow all of the timing as well through the TISO live timing, which is all on the UCI website. Go to uci.org. If you want to talk about, tweet about everything, it's at UCIMTB. Use the hashtag Lenzerheide 2018. But as our world champion goes back for all the photos, with one very happy South African commentator. And he signs all the jerseys.
Yeah, motorbike in South Africa is a pretty popular sport.
Yeah. And of course they've got the amazing Cape Epic.
Yeah, that's an amazing race, but also they had world champs in earlier years.
And kicked us off at the start of this season with what I hear was a very good World Cup in Stellenbosch.
The atmosphere around that venue was very great, impressive.
And a phenomenal track as well.
Yep.
And the fact that it's in the middle of South Africa's premier wine area, that's just a bonus.
The Western Cape.
To everybody else. So I'm sure that this will be really positive for back in South Africa as they're watching, and hopefully you've been able to join us down in South Africa on the UCI channel. But from myself and Bart, thanks very much for joining us.
It has been a pleasure.
Ab 9 Uhr, meine Damen und Herren, genauso wie die Expo. Fotografie Bike Kids Area.